Bienvenidos nuevamente. Nuestros Story Makers continúan. Después de diversas experiencias de marketing en grupos internacionales, Oscar Di Mongini se convierte en Chief Marketing Officer de Banca Mediolanum. En 2009, crea y lanza la Mediolanum Corporate University, que en 2013 se adjudica el segundo puesto en clasificación mundial de los prestigiosos Corporate University Awards. Experto en marketing para la innovación, comunicación relacional y formación corporativa, es creador y divulgador de los principios de Economia 0.0, en la que se conjugan business, management, filosofía, arte y ciencia. Es autor del blog Reflexiones para el Tercer Milenio, en el que indaga y analiza en qué modo las macrotendencias del futuro determinarán los futuros nuevos escenarios sociales y de mercado. Dejamos en el escenario a Oscar Montigny.
Hello. Welcome. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Bien? ¿Y aquí? ¿Comido? Este es el momento peor. I'm going to speak in English. I love to speak in Spanish, but I will speak in English. I love Spanish. I met my wife at the Spanish class at the university. And then she gave me 5 children, which is a record. 1 wife, 5 children. I'm an exponential father. So, how many optimists in the room? Liar, I don't trust you. I'm going to show you the future, so I'm going to ask you later if you're optimists. How many pessimists in the room? Take him away, and another one. Where are you? He's not convinced. He's like, realist? There is someone who raises his hands 3 times. Okay. How many heroes in the room? 1, 2. I wouldn't trust you if you feel to be a hero like, are you Batman? Yes, no, it depends. So, I believe you are heroes. The problem is that you don't believe in fables anymore. My children, they do. Your children do. You know why we don't believe in heroes anymore? Because we've been fooled. When at school, they taught us how to color inside the margins. Don't go out the margins. Respect the rules. Don't go out the margins. Respect the rules. You remember? And so we became storytellers as adults. Stories don't have to be told. Stories has to be made. Children, they don't play. They make stories. Adults, they tell stories. You know, as managers or entrepreneurs, which is the difference between storytelling and story making? That, for example, in business, we tell stories to sell products. Correct? My proposal today, we'll stay together 45 minutes, is going to be this. Making someone have an experience of ourselves, being ourselves the story. We must go back to be the story. So, I'm going to tell you a fable. And as every fable, it is based on a true story. You know why it's based on a true story? You know why it's based on a true story? Because we truly are naturally Story Makers. Correct? So, every story is made of 6 different bullets. There's the hero, who is centric in the story. Then there is a when, once upon a time. And then there is a where, there was a kingdom. And then there is the hero with his values. And then there is the enemy, the bad guy, the wolf, il cappuccetto rosso. And then there is the magical item, the sword in the rock, the ring of the Lord. And then there is the happy ending, you know? And they lived happily ever after, the moral. So I will give you my talk going through these different 6 points to tell you your own stories. You are hero. If you, for the ancient Greek tradition, a hero, what was a hero? A hero was a demigod, a cross between a god and a human being, someone living among us, looking human, but having functions like God have, like gods have. And I want to think of you like heroes in this room. If you go on Wikipedia, you will find this description of a hero. A hero is any person who does an extraordinary and generous act of courage which might result in the conscious sacrifice of himself to protect the good of all others. To me, for me, a hero is any person really intent on making this world a better place for all. Today, our world, our planet, our business need heroes. And to be a hero is extremely simple. You must sacrifice. Sacrum facere, to do something sacred. All the heroes, you're going to have a file at your name at the FBI if you want to be a hero. You know why? Because heroes, they think. Think is not something common in our life. It is not. Because small minds discuss people. Average minds discuss events. Great minds discuss ideas. Talking about ideas, thinking is not common. Switch on the television tonight. Read a magazine or a newspaper tonight. You will see how many ideas you will find on it and how many events and facts about people. Think at your office. How many times someone entered your office saying, "Hey, I had an idea," instead of, "Hey, Oscar did something. Oh, do you know what happened?" Never happened that, "Hey, you know, a colleague of mine had a very good idea." Never happened. So, once upon a time, there was a kingdom, the kingdom where we have been living in for centuries, that is going to disappear. Most of the researchers are trying to answer this question. Are we living in an era of changes, or this where we are living in, it's a change of era? Because usually, generation by generation, we go through eras of changes. This one, where we are all living in, is considered by the majority of the researchers, I'm not talking only about finance or economy, any kind of field of humanity, we consider this era a huge era of changes, a big change of era, actually. Why? Because we are changing all the references that we have been based our strategies, our lives, our decisions on for centuries. I'm not talking about your generation, your grandparents, or your grand-grandparents. I'm talking about humankind. Let me give you these examples. Do you believe in governments? If I was going to ask this question to your grandfather, he might have said yes. Maybe not this party, who is leading the country, but yes, I do believe in the government as an institution ready and able to change things. Do you believe in other governments organization? Do you really believe the United Nations are going to solve, for example, the war in Syria? Do you believe it? You don't. Do you believe in religion as the only path to follow? Do you believe in gender? Do you know how many genders they describe at the moment? Tell me a few genders. At least two, you should be easy. Okay, male and females is easy. Do you know how many do we have? 24. 24 different ways to think about sexuality. That's a lot. That's interesting. Try to tell it to your grandfather. Hey, granddaddy, 24 different ways to mix. Family is not a reference anymore. Weddings versus divorces and separations. School, public school, obviously not Harvard and Oxford, is not a reference anymore. Sport is not a reference anymore. We can't even believe anymore in the world champion soccer, okay? Technology is not what it used to be for years and years and years. I don't have time to talk to you about exponential intelligence or exponential technology, but technology is not going to be in a very close future what it used to be for years. Life is not even a reference that we're used to. It's the first time for humanity to consider an online and an offline life. For our brain, it's a huge change of paradigm. We are on when we are online, and we are off when we are having a material relationship. This is weird for our brain. Socialization places are not the same anymore. Where we grow up is not available on the Apple Store. Our children are growing in places where we have never been before. Even our planet can't be considered unique anymore. You know, they just realized that there is another planet, they named it Kepler, that looks quite similar to ours. Banks are not the reference anymore. One of the worst places to work in, one of the worst places to put your money in. Now, don't laugh. I work for a bank. And everything started in 2007 and 2008. Now, this is the once upon a time, there was our kingdom that is going to disappear soon. 2, and what about this kingdom? What is happening? Where is this kingdom? What is going to happen by 2020 and 2030? Let me give you 4 big drivers that are going to change the kingdom where we'll be living in, where we'll be working in. First, demographics. There is a huge movement from east to west, from south to north, that is going to reshape the entire demography of the planet. It's going to change everything. Second, most of these people is going to be concentrated in big cities. By 2020 and 30, will be 8.3 billion of people in the world. 0.8 of them will be living in just 40 huge cities. And 80% of the GDP will be produced only in urban areas. You must be ready with your business to face this huge change. Most of the people will leave the country areas. People will be very sensitive to the environmental and ecological ideas. Our planet has to be saved by someone. Things are changing because our footprint on the planet is going to leave a huge mess behind us. It's a strange way we live nature. We are not so clear in our mind to take decision between what we should do and what we do. Technology is going to be the 3rd big driver. Demographics, environment, and technology. I don't know what you mean by technology, but I know that we all grow up in this world, which was already quite a mess to face, but everything is going to change. Green tech, nanotech, biotech, fintech, drones, wearables, implementables, 3D printers. Just in a few years, technology will be pervasive in our life. And we are not ready, because in Union Square in New York, people have to be told by the municipality, be careful when you cross the street. Don't look at your Facebook update. You were going to lie under cars in Union Square, you know? And if you live in a building on the 5th Avenue and there is a fire going on, don't tweet to take a snapshot of you, to post it on Instagram if there is a fire. Just leave. Our brain is not ready. You might laugh, but this is reality. Technology is going to reshape our cities. We are in China here. It's coming. So, what do you do? What could you do, and what is stopping you? That means what do you will have to work on. You have 7 big constraints in your company. First, our legacies are constraints. We must change our legacies in the company. Second, our organizational assets has to be redesigned totally. Third, our project's master plan has to be rethought totally. Fourth, our budget has to be reallocated in a totally different way to face the future. Fifth, the way we use our time has to be totally reallocated. Sixth, our culture has to change. Legacy, assets, projects, budget, time, culture. This is what we have to face. But basically, the 7th constraint is people. We have to change because behind these 6 constraints, there are people. What I feel, what I see doing my researches is that we don't have the right perception of the risks that we will have to face very soon. We don't have enough familiarity with technology. Did you ever wonder why on your remote control of the television you have like 30 buttons you don't use? It's the same for you? We resist when there is time to change. I know that on our books, page 1, change, 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 change. But when it's time to change, no one wants to change really. And then we feel fears. We must face our fears for the future because this is the only possibility we have. Because at the same time, we are the problem, but we are extremely lucky because we are the solution. You are the solution. The reason why I came here is also for my children. We must prepare a world for our children which is much, much, much better than today. When I was in Tokyo last year, I was invited by Philip Kotler, who is I think you know Philip Kotler, is the guru of the modern marketing. I had to give a talk at one of his events, was the World Marketing Summit in Tokyo. And the sentence that I brought back home was exactly this. If in 5 years you are still in the business in the way you are now, you are totally out of the business. To be ready by 2020, to be ready by 2030, you must change in the next 5 years. Otherwise, you won't move your Titanic at the last day. Most of our companies are dead company walking. I'm sorry. If you don't trust me, give a look at the companies ranked in the Standard & Poor's 500. All the companies that entered the list in 1958, they stayed in the list, the average time was 61 years. Those entering in the 80s was 25 years. Those companies that entered in between the 2005 and 2012, only 18 years. By 2030, most of the companies today ranked in the list of Standard & Poor's won't be there anymore. What about yours? But, there is a but. This lady is Tara Gandhi. She is the granddaughter of the Mahatma Gandhi. I had the chance to meet her years ago. We became friends. We share about values, something that I'll be telling you later on today. And she told me one thing, Oscar, when I was a child in the ashram with the Mahatma, the big soul, that's how she called her grandfather, he told me one thing, Tara, speed doesn't make the difference if you go in the wrong direction. In fact, the fourth driver after demographics, after environment, after technology will be ethic, values, and behaviors. This is what is going to really lead the word tomorrow. Ethics, values, and behaviors. Now, back to where are we now? There is a world of references that is going to disappear. It's not going to be the same anymore. People will be people, citizens, children, customers, you can name in the way you prefer. Will be looking for people offering them new references, being new references. So you are extremely lucky, because in this huge era of change, you can be one of the new references on the planet. To make business, to make profit, to do no profit, whatever. So, once upon a time, there was a kingdom that is going to disappear. There is a world that is going to be redesigned and shaped almost totally. And what about the values of the heroes? Because you are the hero. Anyone intent in making this world a better place for all? Try to consider the values that I'm going to tell you now. There will be 8. 4 couples of 2 values each couple. Total 8. Like a wave. Does anybody go surfing? Okay, she does. When you go surfing, when I used to go surfing in California, I remember you need to know where to go along the coast, and that is quite easy to know. It's enough if you ask. Then once you jump in the water, you need to know where to position yourself. You know, when you see on television surfers floating on the water, fine, because you need to know where the waves break. And you have to see the spot of waves coming, because waves don't come all the time. They come 6, 7 at a time, and then stop. 6, 7 at a time, then they stop. So you have to see when they're coming, and then you have to choose which of the 6 or 7 waves you want to ride. You must be sensitive. It's exactly the same thing with trends. If you catch the trend at the very beginning, you will ride the entire wave. If you don't catch the trend, you will have to wait, because surfers can't ride the wave if there is already someone else surfing the wave. Otherwise, it's going to be dangerous. You can't jump on the wave anytime you like. It's clear? So, let's go surfing. Let's go surfing. So this is easy for all of us. First couple, crucial and sustainable. Your offer tomorrow to get a vote, to be bought by someone, service or products, doesn't make the difference, has to be crucial and sustainable. People will be very sensitive with whatever would be essential, which is the kind that is missing in this picture. Anyone knows? Red, white, black? You don't know. Coca-Cola invested millions of euros in a new product, Coca-Cola Life, green. Do you know how much they invested in the color red? They even turned Santa Claus from green to red, doing commercials. They are going back. Coca-Cola Life. Why life and not diet and not classic and not zero? Why life? Why is made with stevia, which is a plant, instead of sugar? And once they did it, Pepsi could follow and ride the wave. McDonald's is turning green. Have you seen it? Did you get it? Were you sensitive enough to catch the message behind an experience like this? Toys, plastic, Disney World, into a new experience, little forest, leaves, insects, good food. The menu has changed, but not really the food. And Burger King could follow. They want to make you have a new, crucial and sustainable experience. Look at this. No, nothing to laugh. I'm not taking a position in between Francis or Papa Ratzinger. He had to bring immediately a message of essentiality, cruciality, and sustainability. Immediately, the first day on stage. Second, quick and deep. You will have to be extremely fast, extremely quick. I push a button, I get a service. I don't want to wait anymore. We are the post office in southern Italy here. This is gone. You laugh. There's something already happening down there. That's the way it works. In the future, they won't wait this time. Because if you make them wait, they will tell you in a language. I have 10,000 people follow me on Facebook. Almost 13,000 people follow me on Twitter. If I'm going to post a picture like this, you're going to have trouble, at least with few customers. But you will have to go deep, not being superficial. Quick doesn't mean superficial. All the big data is based on this. You will have to know as much as you can about your customers. Just to give you a benchmark, I don't know how many clusters you have in your company, how much you use big data already, but let me give you a benchmark. Do you know Netflix? Do you? Do you know how many clusters of customers Netflix have? 45,600 and something. Okay? That's a benchmark. Then, third couple, you will have to be unique and universal. Crucial and sustainable, quick and deep, unique and universal. In the 80s, in the 90s, the market wanted to be part of the tribe, looking all the same, the way we dressed, the cars we were driving, and so on. Now everything is changing. From looking all the same, I want to be universally customers of yours, but as a single human being. Makes me have an experience that makes me feel unique. This is exactly what Coca-Cola did in the last 2 years. I know you had the experience of this, right? Do you have it in Spain? Do you? Did you wonder why, or you just bought the bottle of Coke? As a manager, you must ask yourself, what are they doing? You must be sensible, sensitive. They move from the names to the hobbies and the interests, and the people is paying with the currency that is the most expensive one, time. I'm sure that there was someone working in the supermarket in here looking at the lady like this, you know, like, you're going to put everything back, right? How important was going to be that bottle of Coke? Just a few cents. I go to the supermarket. I don't have time to waste looking for my name on a bottle of Coke. If I do, it means that that bottle has a huge meaning for me. Don't make it simple. I know these are simple examples, but don't make it too easy. Nutella, Ferrero, they could follow the wave. Pepsi this time could not. Because if they were following them, they were going to show the world universally that they were silver medal. They had to leave the wave. Too late. And the fourth couple, again, once you do it well, you will have the people working for you. 96% of contents posted on the social networks are posted not by companies, but by customers. This is an absolutely politically correct advertising, but it's, fucking cool. It's extremely well done. I can't do that as a marketing manager, but a customer of mine, he can. And it's cool. Fourth couple, trust and sharing. I know that you know that we just entered the new sharing economy. Cars, Airbnb, but what's behind it? In this epoch, we have to know that nothing can be hidden anymore, nowhere. Everything is public. So you have to play public. What about the name of your company on the Google search? What appears? What about your name, personal name, that you are leading the company, or that you are an important manager of the company? What about the people working in your company? What do they have at their names in Google? I don't like it, but this is going to be the truth for the next decades, talking about companies, managers, entrepreneurs. You must take care of it, because the next currency will be reputation, will be transparency. And in these days, I'm 100% sure of it. No more trust. No more business. I'm driving an Audi car. I want to change my car now. I want to change my car now. Are you selling cars? come and visit me. You should know me, thanks to your big data, that I don't like this behavior. And I'm ready to change, even paying a fee. I want to send a message to my children. That's not the way the world has to work. So, please be careful. Every company is a media company, and every human being working in a company is a media company himself, because as I told you, 96% of what is posted publicly, for example, on the social networks, is posted by people working for you, with you. So, when, where, values, and what about the enemy? These are your enemies. Bad, 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 and dangerous guys. And you're laughing, and the fact you're laughing scares me. These are the generation. Looking at you, I can't see all of you, but we all belong basically to this generation, baby boomers or here, Generation X, okay? What about this famous generation, the millennials? Let me give you an example. This is a research for the finance market, okay? Let me focus on a few details. I'm going to read it very fastly, and thanks to the translator to do an amazing job at the moment. The Millennial Disruption Index identifies the industries most likely to be transformed by millennials, the largest generation in American history. So let me give you a few examples, if I can. Okay. All 4 of the leading banks are among the 10 least loved brands by millennials. I don't see the difference between my bank and all the others. 53% don't think their bank offers anything different than other banks. 71% would rather go to the dentist than listen to what banks are saying. Dentist. Hey, can I come to visit you tonight? I have to go to the dentist. Can you come tomorrow? 1 out of 3 are open to switching banks in the next 90 days. 68% in 5 years, the way they access their money will be totally different. That's what they think. 70% in the next 5 years, do you remember I told you 5 years? The way they pay for things will be totally different. Nearly half of them, they believe innovation will come from outside the industry. It's not enough. There is a bank behind my slideshow. Okay. 73% would be more excited about a new offering in financial service coming from Amazon, Google, Apple, and so on. 33% believe they won't need a bank. Do you need a place selling newspapers on the road? Or you do go on the mobile to have news? So this is just about banking, but it's going to be for all of you. And the change will be seismic. All of you. Now, this is the disruption vortex. Who's going to come first? Technology. Then media, retail, financial service, here we are, telecommunication, education, hospitality, manufacturing, healthcare, utilities, oil and gas, and then pharmaceuticals. Put you on the list somewhere, it's going to reach you. It's going to be your time very soon. And I just told you about this generation. What about these guys? Do you know who they are? They are named Generation Alpha, the Google kids. If they behave like this when they are children, how will they behave? Then will be your customers. But now, all the good content of my talk. Let's keep calm, and let's use the force. This sentence belonged to St. Francis of Assisi, and he said, I love him, I love Assisi. I studied his life. He's an amazing example of a big hero. Let's start by doing what is necessary. Then what is possible. And accidentally, we'll be surprised to do what is impossible. So, what is necessary? This is the way we work. Offer, demand, sell, buy. So what is all about doing business? It's about relationship and experience. Okay, let's go fast, let's go deep, technology, whatever, but don't forget the Mahatma Gandhi, direction. So basically, relationship and experience. Your products your services will have to solve needs exactly as in the past of the story. But now it's not enough. If you sell soaps, it's not enough that your soaps clean. People desire to belong to a system of values now. They don't want to buy things. They want to belong to someone, making them feel values and valuable. So, what I'm trying to tell you that people will forget what you said. This is telling. People will forget what you did, but they will never forget how you made them feel. This is extremely important. Let's go on with the story. So, how can we make them feel in a way? Kevin Roberts, the CEO, a guru for me, of Saatchi & Saatchi worldwide, he designed this graphic that is very interesting. He said, a customer can feel two different emotions, sentiments for a corporation offering him, or a company offering him a product or a service. Love and respect. If they're going to feel low respect and high love for you, you'll be just a product, which is fine. Salt is an example of a product. If you go in the supermarket, you won't get the salt on the shelves. It will be at the end of the corridor on a plastic piece, okay? Low respect, high love, fads. The fashion industry is based in this quarter. We don't respect our clothes. We fall in love with the new clothes in a window. We are going to buy it. We go back home. We dress it, and we leave our old clothes in the room. Our grandfathers didn't do that. There were clothes for the Sunday morning and then to go to work. High love, low respect. High respect, low love, you are just a brand. You are just an institution. Governments are here. Parties are here. Banks are here. High respect, high love, you are a love mark. Can you get it? The difference? What is a love mark? Nike, Adidas, Coca-Cola, Harley-Davidson, Apple, Google, they are all love marks. So as a marketing manager, I'm paid to bring my brand, to go up, to make my brand a considered brand, and then a preferred brand, and then possibly a must-have brand, something that everyone wants to have, at any price, at any time, at anywhere. But, and this is my personal but, a piece of the idea of Economy 0.0, you cannot sell someone something he doesn't need physically unless he needs it psychologically. Marketers used to sell psychologically, and this time must be over forever. Have you seen the movie Fight Club? Brad Pitt sitting at a table with Edward Norton, telling him, hey, we buy things we don't need with money we don't have to impress people we don't like. This is the old story. But don't forget, we are the generation in between. We play the old game, and now it's time to play a new game. I know here is fine because we know it, but it's time to change. People want to have a change because the system didn't work. It's not working and will not work. And we are responsible. This morning, someone talked about Martin Luther King. There's an amazing sentence of Martin Luther King. You might not be responsible for the situation where you are living in, but you will be if you will not do anything to change it. I know you're a good guy. You're a good guy. But the situation is not as good as you are. So what do? Do you want to expect? I can't expect for my children. I can't wait for my company. So we have to face the situation in a much deeper level of consciousness. If there is a problem, this was Einstein, the problem has to be solved on a deeper level of consciousness compared to the level where the problem manifested itself at the first time. So, sorry. Once upon a time, there was a kingdom that is going to disappear. There will be a new kingdom by 2020 and 2030. I told you about the value of the hero, and you are the heroes. I told you about the enemy that we don't see as an enemy, but they are. And what about the most interesting part of the story? The magical item, the sword of the rock, the ring of the Lord. And here we are to the basics of Economy 0.0. I think it's time for a new idea. As Victor Hugo used to say, nothing in the world is more powerful than an idea whose time has come. So let's go back to Kevin Roberts. Kevin Roberts gave us an amazing map to track our strategy, love and respect. But I want to add a new dimension, which is gratitude. Love is fine, respect is fine, but I want to add a new third dimension. When you have two dimensions, the relationship with your customer and the experience with your customer will be flat, because two dimensions make a plane. If you add a third dimension, then you enter in the solid world. And we all want a solid relationship with the market. And I will explain you now why. You want to have a client like this, because gratitude is going to make the difference in your strategy. Go back home tonight. I hope that in the Spanish vocabulary is going to sound quite similar to the Italian and the English version. Go and look at the word gratitude. Memory of a benefit received and readiness to prove. This is marketing. Memory is brand awareness. And readiness to prove is word of mouth. In a world where 96% of the contents shared in the market are shared by people, the word of mouth, 0.0, super basics of marketing, is going to be the point. But the customer has to be grateful. And in a world that we know well, made of capitalism, that is the last reference that we are going to lose soon, an amazing capitalist extremist, as Paul Polman, CEO of Unilever, used to say, he said that this crisis is a crisis of ethics, because capitalism has not been put in discussion as much as the way in which it has been implemented and its aims, the way and the aims. So, what I want to share with you. Economy. We are all part of the economy world. In the future, is going to be the purpose or the instrument? I don't have the answer, but I want to wonder with you. And the human being is going to be the instrument of the economy system, or is going to be the purpose? And talking about profit, do we really think that there is only a way to make profit or to do no profit, good and bad ones, good and evil, or there is the space, there is room enough for the third possible dimension? My personal proposal is the idea of right profit. It might sound utopistic to you, but it's going to be extremely easy. I'm a very practical guy. I don't like theories, matrices. I like being basic. So I go back to the vocabulary, right profit. The word right, first of all, announces the right to make profit. If you make profit in the world, you are good. But what does right mean also? Right means correct. Right means honest. Right means good. Right means sane. So you can make your own profit as you like, as much as you can, but please, try to be correct, honest, good, sane. We don't need leaders. We don't need teachers. We don't need professors. We don't need speakers to be honest, correct, good, and sane. It's enough to be a hero. Make your life a product. and make this product something meaningful for the world. This is the idea, this is the magical item, the right product, the right service, the right offer to the market. When you meet a customer, you must fill this space separating you and him, you and her, you and them. And you'll have to solve tomorrow 3 basic necessities, right necessities. For your company, you must make profit. You are paid to make profit. You invested money, if you're the entrepreneurs, to make money. Second, your client will have to be satisfied, old marketing, happy, actual marketing, grateful, future marketing. But also the collectivity will have to get a benefit from this transaction. If I produce water and I put the best water at the lowest price in a bottle of plastic, and the customer will be happy to drink the best water at the lowest price in a bottle of plastic, the problem of plastic is a problem for all of us. Do you know what I mean? You will die rich. And so, what about my children? What about yours? When, where, values, enemy, magical item, and then we reach the end. Because we must live happy. This is the hard decision. Do you want to go right? Do you want to go left? Because our mind is not prepared to take a decision. We want to make money, but sometimes we know that we can make money easier and faster if, take that if away. There was an interview done by a journalist to Mother Teresa. At the end of the interview, the journalist told her, "I wouldn't do that, even for $1 million. You know what she answered? Me neither. Would you love to have Mother Teresa and you're working for your company? How much would you pay her? The salary. Would you let her write down the strategy of the company? I would like to." So, I believe, Economy 0.0, love contains money, not necessarily the opposite. I don't know. I don't have the answer. That's the reason why it also equals. But I feel more confident staying here and making money in a proper way. We are all connected. You must be aware of this. So what is it all about? This is the moral. It's easy. It's 0.0. We are in a world where everyone wants to be the first one to do something 1.0. If you're 1.0, you're like an ancient guy living in a cave, like the Flintstones, right? If you are 2.0, you are cool. If you are 3.0, you are super cool. I want to propose something 0.0. What goes around comes around. Love, which sounds so basic, so common, so banal, is the best currency you have in your hands. There is a huge market. Everyone wants to be loved. Everyone wants to offer love. As much as you give, as much as you have back. Return on investment, ROI. What goes around comes around. What goes around comes around. And it doesn't make a difference if you are B2B or B2C, because today, almost 8 billion of people in the world, we are all connected. So whatever you do, it's business to the world. It's business to the world. The end of the moral is exactly this. Tomorrow, you will meet eyes that will look at you as you deserve. The world will be a mirror of your company, will be a mirror for yourself. So, this is Economy 0.0. Please, always be yourself. Unless you can be a hero. In that case, be a hero. Thanks.